Okay, good morning, guys. Welcome back. This is your second short story that we'll be doing, kort verhaal. And the book's name is 14 boeke vir Emile. Okay, so very nice story, a little bit of a love story. It's about a girl that writes. She's still in school. She has taken on writing. She has a very big interest in writing and she wants to become a writer one day. And then she has this boyfriend. The boyfriend breaks up with her because he goes to university, and then she makes up this whole story about what happens in the future, as we all do, based on popular romantic stories and so on that she's read and that we've all read. She then writes this romantic novel about what is going to happen in the future. Okay, so please enjoy it, guys. Just a quick reminder, please complete all the questions in your guides. So that when we get back to school, we can just go through all the answers, discuss it again, but then at least you've done that already. I've given you all the answers for the poems. So if you completed all 6 poems, this term's poems, you should be able to mark that as well, but we are going to go through the answers as soon as we get back to school. It's just quite tedious to do those videos because you're going to listen to me just giving you the answers that you've already done. And you can't really ask questions here. So when we do it in class, please, guys, be prepared so that we can just move forward. We can discuss all the short stories as well as the poems. If we are finished with the short stories this week, which we should be by Saturday, then next week we'll start with the analysis of Awesome. I know you guys still don't have the guides for that. Hopefully when we get back to school, you're going to receive those guides. So just bear with me, please. I know this is a difficult time for you guys, and I know that you guys are stressed and so on. I do feel for you, but we are going to get through this. I think these videos really help, and you get a sense of exactly what I would have said in class. I now just say on a video. Okay, so once again, I will read a page, then we'll do the analysis of the page, do the next page, and so on. Cool, so enjoy the story. Okay, 14 boeke vir Emile. Jan van Tonder. Of my borste ooit verder as hulle huidige 32A sal ontwikkel, kan ek nie sê nie. Maar een ding weet ek. Ek gaan eendag 'n groot skrywer word. So onthou my naam. Don Winterbag. Daar skuil geen donker geheim agter my noemnaam nie. Ek is gewoon vroegoggend gebore. Dankie tog dat ma besluit het om my 'n Engelse naam te gee. Anders het ek dalk nou sonop of dagbreek geheet. Don was mamma se besluit. Ja, want sy is die enigste een wie se sê hier rond enigiets stel. My pa is sis, my ma is sis, my pa is so. Hy is onder en sy is bo. Maar ek dwaal af. Dis iets waarmee ek goed is. Afdwaal. Byvoorbeeld die gedig in die vorige paragraaf. Wat soek dit daar? Dit het niks te doen met die probleem met wat ek probeer vertel nie. En dis boonop sonder titel. Klink soos ek. Woordeboeke is my ding. Ek kan die HAT omtrent uit my kop uit sê. En ek lees thesaurusse en sinonieme en spreekwoorde vir die lekkerte. Vat nou maar 'n woord soos heet, wat ek hierbo gebruik het. Heet, soos in ek heet Don Winterbag. Maar heet kan ook warm beteken, of vurig. As julle nie skrywers of lesers wil word nie, vergeet dit gerus. Dis 'n blerrie ou woord, en dis net mense soos ek, en oupa en Langenhoven, wat dit nog gebruik. En Emile. Emile is my boyfriend. Hy's great. Skamerig en mooi en slim. Ongelukkig gaan hy môre universiteit toe. En dan is dit die laaste sien van die plakantien. Hy kom later vanaand groet. Okay, so from the beginning, we see that this girl has some sort of physical self-consciousness about her. Okay, so she says that she wears a 32A bra, the 32A, which indicates that she has quite small breasts, and she is quite self-conscious about this. As girls, we know that, and this self-consciousness comes from males, because we feel that we have to have bigger breasts for us to be more attractive to males. So whatever your opinion on that is, if you agree or disagree, that is your own opinion, but obviously she feels quite self-conscious about it, and she's not happy about her small breasts. Okay, then Dawn Breitenbach, that is the person who is writing. So she's writing in first person. We hear this from her point of view. Dawn, obviously in English, okay, means in the time that the sun rises, where it's the beginning of the day. So she says she was born in the beginning of the day. That's why her name is Dawn. And then in the story, she says she's very happy that her mom chose an English name. Otherwise, she would have been called Sonop. Okay, which is not so descriptive and beautiful as Dawn. Okay, the fact that she uses a word like geheet. Okay, geheet is a very formal Afrikaans name. People these days don't really use it anymore. They'll say, my naam is Dawn. They won't say ek heet Dawn of ek het Dawn geheet. It's really an old-fashioned word, but also a very nice word, a proper Afrikaans word that is used. And because she uses it, we can see that she's quite a good writer, and she knows about fancy words and using words that are different. Because she's a writer, she has descriptive words as well. Okay, she says that her mum gave her the name, and that her mum is the top of the household. What her mum says goes. So in Afrikaans, we have a saying that says, sy dra die broek in die huis. She wears the pants at home. So this means that she calls the shots. The dad is just kind of there on the sideline. So she almost listens to her mom, because she has that final say. We don't really hear anything about her mom in the rest of the story, but in the beginning, that's just something that she felt she had to say. So her mom is at the top of the household, and then her dad just does it. Okay, she uses a poem, the poem on that page, in the middle, the indented part, that says, my ma is sis, my pa is so, hy is onder en sy is bo. So she uses that extract from a poem. Obviously, once again, she is quite good with literature. She's very interested in literature. She knows a lot about literature because she's a writer. So she knows that poem off by heart, and she uses the poem to express how their family dynamic works. So she says her mom is on top, her dad is at the bottom. So it's just the ranking order that is highlighted there. And then we get to know Dawn a little bit in this first page, because she gets distracted quite easily. She's busy telling you the story of how she became a writer, and then all of a sudden she's telling you about her mom that has the final say, or she's telling you about where her name came from, and then she's busy diverging to something else. So she's quite her attention is sidetracked very easily. Okay, and so are most creative people. Most creative people have a tendency to get lost in what they are doing, and they get a little bit sidetracked. here I've just given you a little picture of the sunset. So dawn, her name, meaning the dawn, the beginning of the day, the sunrise rather. So here's just a little picture of that. So her name is Dawn Winterbach. Okay. As I said, her attention is diverged quite easily. Okay, we know that in this page, let me just look for it quickly. Okay, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, end of paragraph 4, there is a little bit of information in brackets. So once again, this is a parenthese. It's extra information, and it's the information that she's thinking about, because she's saying that her attention diverges quite quickly, and she all of a sudden just spoke about this poem, which doesn't even have a title. So she's rambling on, and then she's thinking by herself, oh, that's like me. Okay, she feels she doesn't have a title yet. Okay, also she mentions that she really likes woordeboeke. Can't I think about woordeboek in English now? Really? Can't think about it now. Okay, so anyway, the book that has the meanings of words in it. So in Afrikaans, we have the HAT. So she says she knows the HAT off by heart. Okay, which is obviously just figurative speech. I'm pretty sure she doesn't literally know it off by heart. But just to say that she knows it quite well. Synonyms, so synonyms for things she knows. That's why she can use the word geheet instead of my naam is. She used geheet, so she knows fancy synonyms for words. And then thesaurusse. Thesaurusse is actually not a proper Afrikaans word, but it's fine. So that is thesaurus. So we all know the thesaurus on Word. If you right click, it gives you other words or more fancy words for the word that you are currently using. So synonyms, thesaurus, same type of words. Then she speaks about the South African writer Langenhoven. There's a picture of him. So he is a poet as well as a writer. So she mentions that he will use words like geheet. Modern day people don't really use it. So she knows writers as well. She knows Langenhoven. She knows different South African writers. Then we get to meet Emile. Emile is her boyfriend at the time. So we know two characters now. We know Dawn, who is the first person speaker in the story, and we know Emile, who is her boyfriend. Okay, she uses the word great. Okay, so she says, "I is great." So she does mix her language. So even though she's such a good writer, she knows proper Afrikaans words, she does mix her languages as well, which just shows us that she's still young, because she is still at school. Emile is a little bit older. He's going to university, but she's still in school. So just that youthness that is highlighting. And oh, that must be Hai, not say, sorry about that. So he is on his way to university, which indicates that he's a little bit older than she is. Okay. Hy sal my seker warm vry in die hoop dat ek uiteindelik sal toegee. Hy doen dit mos almal in die boeke en die movies. Daai girl wie se kerel oorlog toe gaan. Hulle gee toe met die hoop dat, wel, ek weet nie wat nie. Maar ek en Emile sal. O, vrek, verskoon my, ek is nou terug. Sorry. Party mense weet nie hoe belangrik dit is dat 'n skrywer ongesteerd moet werk nie. Dit was my boetie. Sy naam is Joachim. Hoe my pa met daai naam by mamma verbygekom het, weet ek nie. Joachim. By die skool is hy sommer joggie. Hy sê hy wag net tot pappa oud is, dan gaan hy hom in 'n goor ouer huis sit. Ek dwaal af. Ek sal nie weer nie. Waar was ek? O ja, ons sal snot en trane huil, ek en Emile, wanneer ons klaar gegroet het en hy hier uitskap. Man, praat van aandag afleibaar. Maar dit sal oor verskillende goed wees en wat ons grens. En hy sal weggaan en nog 1 of 2 keer van Stellenbosch af bel of e-pos stuur en dalk 'n naweek huis toe kom en sê hy kan nie sonder my leef nie en my weer draai en dan nee wag. Ek is besig om Emile skoon van sy pedestal af te skryf en myself in 'n toestand van depressie. Net gou 'n waarskuwing vooraf. Wanneer Emile net nou hier aankom, sal julle my weer 'n rukkie moet verskoon. Ek is goed met multitask, maar selfs ek kan nie terselfdertyd skryf en vry nie. OK? Dankie. Okay. So now we get to know Emile a little bit, okay? And her own personality as well. So she tells us that Emile is going to come to her house because remember he's going to university now, so he's going to say goodbye. And in her mind, she's made up this fantasy story of what the goodbye would be like. So she draws from romance stories, as I say, that she's written, that she's seen on TV. All those romantic films where the guy goes off to the military and comes and says goodbye and it's all crying and they have this passionate moment where they kiss and so on. So she has this in her mind now. And then she gets interrupted. So the piece where you see the white between paragraph 2 and 3, that is where there is a time shift. Okay, so her brother obviously made a noise outside her room or whatever, and she stopped and she asked him to keep quiet. She came back, she finished writing. So that is a time shift. Whenever there is open spaces, because you can see the paragraphs in the book are divided by indents. But when there's a space in between 2 paragraphs, it means that there was a time shift. So it went from current time to a next time. Okay, we also meet her brother. His name is Joachim. Now, Joachim is quite a profound Afrikaans name, very, very Afrikaans name, and she's not very pleased with this name, and neither is he. She calls him my boetie, which indicates to us, because it's written small, like verkleining, we can indicate that her brother is younger than she is. She says that is my boetie. So he's younger than she is. He's not very happy with his own name either. Apparently the dad gave him this name. And he says when his dad is old enough to go to the old age home, he's going to put him in a bad old age home to get back at him for giving him such a terrible name. He's called Jochie at school because obviously Joachim is quite a difficult name to pronounce. So at school they call him Jochie. Okay, so it ends off with her still going on about how romantic they will be, her and Emile will be when he leaves, making up this whole story. And she says that she needs to just leave for a moment when he gets there because she can't. She wants all her attention to be with him. Okay. Next page. Dis nie asof ons vreeslike goed doen as ons alleen is nie. Maar ek hou nie daarvan dat 'n klomp agies vir my sit en kyk as ek 'n ou soen nie. En Emile kan nogal soen. As ek nie so plat voor was nie, het ek hom dalk 'n bietjie meer toegelaat, maar ek is skaam. Ek laat hom liewer wonder as weet. Al voel ek partykeer soos 'n streng ou jong nooi as ek so bly keer. OK, vanaand weet ek nie so mooi nie. Ons sal maar sien. Stellenbosch is ver en dis nogal lank voor die eerste vakansie. Gelukkig is mamma hulle in die huis en Emile is nogal lustig vir my pa. Wag, ek hoor 'n kar. Ja, daar klap 'n deur. Ek het nog nie my tande geborsel nie. Sien julle? Vark, vervlakste vieslike vark. Weg sonder om aan my te raak. Net kom sê, daar is iemand anders. Iemand in sy klas wat ook al op pad Stellenbosch toe is. Lucille, 'n blerrie mooi meisie as julle dan moet weet. En slim en oulik en gaaf en alles. Met sulke borste. Amper gebruik ek 'n ander woord. Ek wil net vir ander meisies sê. Moenie jou ou op 'n voetstuk plaas nie, want daar gaan ander meisies hom raak sien. Steek hom onder 'n maatemmer weg, tot dit veilig is om hom uit te haal, en dan ook net lank genoeg om hom te laat asem skep. Dis nou te laat vir my. Gedane sake. Ek gaan my nie oor 'n mansmens verknies nie. Ek moet skryf. Dis my beroep. Hiermee dan die begin van my eerste groot literêre werk. Elke hond kry sy dag, deur Don Breitenbach. Hoofstuk 1. Daar is nie 'n teken van die puisies wat hom in matriek so skaam gemaak het nie. Okay. So, obviously, the gathering of them two, the saying goodbye, did not go as she planned. As I said, she planned this romantic goodbye where he kisses her and they cry and so on, but that didn't happen. He just came and said to her that he has someone else. They're both going to university, and we find out that her name is Lucille. Okay, so in the beginning of this page, we learn that Dawn and her boyfriend, Dawn and Emile, has quite a physical relationship, 'n fisiese verhouding. They kiss a lot, and they obviously quite newly together, so they're still very in love stage. Her self-consciousness about her breast once again come out, because she says if she maybe had a little bit of breast, they wouldn't just kiss. Okay, but she is very self-conscious about her breast, so she really doesn't want anyone to look at it or anything. There is a time difference again between the two paragraphs. That's why the open page is there. And then we have a little bit of alliteration here. So at the beginning of the second paragraph, she says, or actually first, second, third, fourth paragraph, she says, vervlakste vieslike vark. Okay, so it emphasizes beklemtoon her feelings towards him now. She thinks he's a pig. She can't believe that he didn't even kiss her goodbye. He just came to say that he now has another girl. We meet another character, Lucille. So Lucille is the girl that he is with now, and once again her self-consciousness about her breasts comes forward, and she says Lucille has big breasts. So it is obviously something that really bothers her at this stage, and now she starts writing her story about what happens after school, after she's now become famous and a writer, what happens to her and Emile. Okay. Om die waarheid te sê, hy lyk baie na Brad Pitt. Maar hy is een van daardie mans wat nie besef hoe aantreklik hy is nie. Aan sy sedert sy skooldae al is 'n mooierige blondine wat hom, as hy eerlik wou wees, teen die tyd al verveel. Emile doen sy bes om die selfoonnommer van Delia Wiem, 'n bekende skrywer, in die hande te kry, maar haar agent weier om dit vir hom te gee, in opdrag van die skrywer natuurlik. By elke boekbekendstelling koop hy haar jongste boek en staan ure in die tou net om met haar te gesels. Maar wanneer dit sy beurt is om die eksemplaar te laat teken, beur die mense van agter en trek die blondine van voor, sodat daar nie 'n geringste kans is vir 'n herontmoeting nie. Delia verkies dit so. Emile hoef nie met haar te praat om te weet hoe dit met haar gaan nie. Hy kan maar net in die Cosmo of Time magazine oopslaan. Huisgenoot ook, of People's Magazine, vir die kindernuus agter die stories, vir die gefluister oor die Amerikaanse miljardêr of die flirtasie van Prins Albert van Monaco. Oud en bles soos hy is, of dat sy weer Javier Bardem, oud en seksie soos hy is, sy hart gebreek het. Maar sonder om op te kyk, weet sy altyd wanneer dit Emile is wat sy boek na haar toe uithou. Sy teken dit, glimlag, swinkies vir hom en die blondine en gee die boek terug. Elke keer is daar een enkele woord wat Delia Weem se handtekening in Emile se boek. Eers het hy gedink dat sy nie kans kry om klaar te skryf oor die skare se gestoot en die blondine se getrek. Maar toe lees hy die woorde in die regte volgorde en besef dat die vrou van sy drome, die een wat hy soveel jare gelede in die steek gelaat het, besig is om hom 'n boodskap te skryf. Okay, I'll just finish the last sentence on the next page. Okay, so Dawn is obviously writing about Emile. Okay, she doesn't change his name in the story, she still keeps it to Emile. We learn that Emile is quite a looker. Okay, his physical traits are quite profound. In school, he used to have a few pimples as we go through puberty. We know that that happens. So in school, he used to have a few pimples, but now not anymore. Okay, she draws a comparison between Emile and Brad Pitt. So she says he looks a little bit like Brad Pitt, but he doesn't know that he's attractive. So he is very humble as well. She bases the story on their relationship, obviously. Dawn is no longer Dawn. She's now called Delia, and her surname is not Winterbach, it's Weem. So she uses the first two letters. They stay the same in her name and the character's name, and we can see that it is based on their relationship after they've now grown up. We learn that in the story, Emile has an obsession with Delia. Delia is now a very well-known writer. She says that he can see her stories in Cosmo and Time magazine and Huisgenoot and People's magazine, and her relationships with all these very well-known people like Albert van Monaco. He's a prince in Monaco. Javier Bardem. She has all this relationship with these very well-known people, and he will just read about it. He doesn't have to talk to her, but he still comes to every book that she releases. So when she releases a new book, he comes, he buys the book, and he gets it signed by her. Then she writes, "Dear Emile," whatever, love, Delia, but she always writes one word at the bottom when she's written her little letter. And at first he thought maybe she's writing one word because she didn't have time to write the rest of the sentence. Then he came to know that that word, the next word that she writes in the next book, completes a sentence. So that's why he's so adamant to buy every book and to be at every book release so that she can write the next word in the sentence. And he's quite sad that he's left her and he's regretting the fact that he left her in school. Okay, she uses the word billionaire, okay, milliardaire. So that is just a play on the word millionaire, millionaire. She's just being a little bit more dramatic about that and saying that she has so much money. There is that Prince of Monaco, so not a very attractive man, but obviously he has a lot of money, and that is something that is important to her. Okay. Delia Wiem publiseer 2 boeke per jaar. 'n feit wat Emile hartstogtelik laat hoop het die boodskap gaan nie onnodig woordryk wees nie. Hy het later begin om Delia van stad tot stad op haar boektoere te agtervolg, sonder die blondine en meer as 1 eksemplaar van dieselfde boek gekoop en die hoop dat hy op die manier gouer sou agterkom wat sy vir hom wil sê. Tervergeefs. Hy kon op die manier geen nuwe leidrade bykom nie. Elke keer was daar dieselfde woord as in die vorige geskrywe. En Emile se moed het hom begin begewe. Om die waarheid te sê, hy het sy gat gewip en toe nie die bekendstelling van haar volgende boek bygewoon nie. 'n jaar lank het hy haar net in Cosmo en Time Magazine en Huisgenoot en People's Magazine gesien. En toe natuurlik, weer met die publikasie van haar volgende boek, uiteindelik na 7 jaar, met Delia Wiem 'n punt agter die woord onder haar handtekening geplaas. Na 7 jaar was die boodskap voltooi, buiten een woord. Hierdie sin sal nooit soveel sin maak as die wat van die boek nie. Delia se agent gee uiteindelik toe vir Emile sy onophoudelike versoek. Okay, so you will see in the book itself, if you now look at the pages, that there are words that have a line through it. So maybe you thought that the previous person who had the book had scratched out a line and you are very angry about that. That is not the case. That indicates to us, as she's writing, she's contemplating words to use and not to use. So it's purposefully there. It's there because she decided not to use that word or not to express herself in that way. This is like a first draft of an essay that you are writing. You don't use everything that you write in the first draft. You go and you scratch out a word and you think, oh no, I don't want to use this word. I'd rather use this word. It's more fancy. Or I don't want to say it like this. I want to explain it like this. So that is the lines in between that you see. So as I explained to you guys at the end of the book signing, she always writes one word. So every time he goes for a new book, she adds another word. And then he got a little bit fed up and he wanted to know what the complete sentence was. So he bought more than one of the same book, hoping that she'll write a different word in every book. But she didn't. She wrote the same word in the same book. And then he got a little bit frustrated and he decided, you know what, I don't even care about this anymore. I'm not going to go to this book signing again. So the next book signing he skipped because he was angry. And then 7 years later, she had written the last book and he went to that signing again. So now he had this whole sentence and there's one crucial word left out of the sentence. So he can't even make up what she wanted to put in that sentence. Then after all this nagging of him, her publisher decided, okay, you know what, I will tell him where she is so that this guy can just relax and go to the school. Okay. Sy kuier by haar ouers. Onthou net,
Ek het jou nie gesê waar sy is. Emile gaan na die huis toe, wat hy so goed ken. Delia se ma maak die deur vir hom oop. Sy is in die binnetuin. Emile gaan daarheen, vind haar waar sy langs die swembad lê. Sy lyk verruklik in haar bikini. Emile staan verstom na haar en kyk. Uiteindelik wurg hy 'n paar woorde uit. Hallo Delia. Sy skrik, trek haar handdoek instinktief oor haar. Besef dat dit Emile is en ontspan. Ek het net een van die bekendstellings misgeloop. Een woord skort. Hierdie sin sal nooit soveel sin maak as die wat van my boek nie. Sy kyk hom emosieloos aan. Die wat van jou boek, Delia? Hierdie keer Brooks. Delia wil haar selfbeheersing verloor. Die blerrie titel, man. Wat van die titel? Dis vir my om te weet en vir jou om uit te vind. Sy staan op en draai die handdoek om haar lyf. By die deur sê sy oor haar skouer. Vaarwel, Emile. Tot Emile daardie aand dons 14 boeke op sy sitkamermat in volgorde van publikasiedatums uitgepak het en langs daarna gesit en staar het, het hy besef dat sy dit alles vir hom geskryf het. Vertrek, afskeid, alleenvaart, reisiger. Weersiens, eskapades, ligtorings, migrasie, heulings terug, enkelkaartjies, moederskip, invaart, landingsstroke, Emile. Okay, so she sees herself as a very attractive woman afterwards. He comes to her house and finds her tanning in the sun. She in a bikini and she looks amazing. She then helps him with the riddle and she says to him, okay, the titles of my book is where your riddle lies. And then he didn't know what to do, so he went home. Obviously, she was very bland about it. She doesn't care about him anymore, so he went home and he packed out all the books and all the titles of every book. And then he sees that actually the books was written for him, because even the last book is named Emile. Eers het hy Delia se boodskap in die titel probeer vind, maar daar was niks nie. Toe tref dit op. Die eerste letter van elke woord in die 14 titels, haar laaste woorde aan hom. Delia Weem lê langs die swembad. Niemand hier weet dat sy enkele maande gelede 'n borsvergroting ondergaan het nie. Sy voel die Fransman se oë soos die warm son op haar. Emile is niks meer as 'n skim in haar verlede nie. Ek bluf julle nie, né? Julle weet, elke blerrie woord van my sogenaamde boek is sopnat, soos ek hier in my slaapkamer oor Emile sit en chunk. Julle moet die woordeboek sien. Daar is blaaie wat nooit weer van mekaar sal loskom nie. Wat my heeltemal opkrek, is hoe lafhartig mense is. Hierdie ding tussen Emile en Lucille gaan seker maande al aan. En nou dat hy waai, nou kom hy eers daarmee uit. Dit chicken om my elke dag by die skool te wys. Ek sou 'n kans wou hê om Lucille se oë uit te krap of 'n voodoo-pop te maak en die ding se titties vol dorings te steek. Okay, so the message to him is the beginning of every word, of every title. So if you go and see, you will see that it says far. If you look at the first 4 titles, far, wel is the next 3 titles, wel, my, the next 2, Emile. Okay, so it's far, wel, my, Emile. That is what she had written for him. So saying goodbye to him, in a very dramatic and outspoken way. Then she says in the next paragraph that she's now met this Frenchman. She's gone for a boob breast enlargement, and she is now very comfortable with herself, because remember her self-consciousness about her breasts, she has now overcome that. She has big breasts now and she's very happy about that. And now she says that she's really upset. So she there's a shift again, and there's even a change in the font. So you will see from where it says hoofstuk 2 to the next paragraph, there's a change in font. So when she writes in the book, it's one font, and then when she goes on telling her story, it's a smaller font, like a more writing style. So she says there that she's so upset. She's writing the story about Emile, and she's crying so much that the pages of the dictionary, that's the word, dictionary, is stuck together and will never get loose again. She's really very upset that Emile left her. Okay, last page. Okay, of om 'n essay oor eerlikheid en vertrouheid in die jaarblad te skryf, met hulle name daarby. Ek is bly julle kan my nie nou sien nie. 'n Pateet. Ek sit hier en ek verlang so na Emile dat ek kan doodgaan daarvan. En ek weet as hy nou by die deur inkom, sal ek na hom toe hardloop en my arms om hom gooi en my gesig teen sy bors druk en hom vergewe vir alles wat hy aan my gedoen het. Ek moet ophou praat. Verskoon my asseblief. Snot en trane, baai. Nee, daar is niemand by my blerrie deur nie. Nie eers Joachim nie. Kubai. Ek het huilwerk om in te haal. Okay, so she's very dramatic about this. Very upset that Emile left her. That last paragraph really highlights to us that she's even hoping that he'll come back. She says if he comes back now and he says he's sorry, she'll take him back and she'll forgive him for everything that he's done. She's really longing for him now. Even though she's written this whole story about how he will regret everything and whatever, she admits that she's very sad, and she runs to the door hoping that he'll be there. She runs to a window hoping that his car will be back like in the movies, but it's reality and it's not, and she's just crying. And she says in the end she actually has crying to catch up on, and she will end off the story like that. Okay, guys, so very nice story. Thank you very much for listening. Good luck. I hope you understand everything. If there's anything that you guys don't understand or that you're unclear of or really struggling with, please, you can send me a personal WhatsApp message. There are quite a few of you who have my number, so just ask those girls, especially netball girls, they'll have my number. Just ask them. I don't mind if you guys have it. Just send me a WhatsApp, ask me the question. Please complete the questions about the story. As I said, when we get back to school, we'll go through all the answers, and then you can actually discuss if you've struggled with something or if your answers differ from mine. But if you are not going to do this, guys, you are really going to be so far behind. You really need to keep up with this work in this holiday time. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Until tomorrow.